sorry, y'all, for all I've done, but I'm not the only one. In a dark place, I told some lies, but I'm not the only one. We all got secrets under the sun. In the shadows, we played the game. Now I'm standing here taking the blame. A lot of y'all was at the freak off too, so don't put it all on me. That's just the truth. I've been up and down this road trying to find my peace. Confessions of a man without a release. Oh, now, hey. In the mirror, I saw the truth hiding in plain view. I'm coming clean now, this burden to undo. We were all there dancing shadows in the night, acting wrong when we knew what was right. But deep inside, there's more you must see. In this room of mirrors, it's not just me. I walk this path with heavy chains, trying to shed those sins, erase the stains. I've seen the highs and the cushion low, fading in the spotlight. That's how it goes. Here, hard on my sleeve, trying to clear the air, let the demons relieve. Every wrong turn and every mistake led me to this moment, let my soul quake. Plays a part in the shadows deep, lost in the game. It's promises to keep.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamin. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so we're about to get into it. Now, before we get started, let's have a brief word from our sponsor at 12 Tribes. And let me just tell everybody, do not be trying to guess who Jane Doe is. Don't ask me. Don't be trying to put anything in the chat, because if you do, just so you know, the feds are watching. Okay, the feds are watching, and they don't care if you were at the court or you're just somebody on social media. They absolutely are taking names. Okay, and if you don't want to find yourself under investigation like a couple of people, as I have heard already are, please just be careful of what you put in the chat. That's all I'm saying, okay? With that all being said, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. All right, here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Etsy.com, just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. And for you men out there, she also has a fabulous beard oil that makes your beard shiny and smells so good, and the ladies will love it. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's get into it. All right, I see you, DJ Big Six. Sandra is here. We the people. All right, Deronda, Anita Harrell, Panther Strikes in the house. All right, let's get into it, Southern Girl. Okay. With that all being said, shout out to my moderators putting in work. All right, there's Desmond. Niecy Bryant's here. All right, Queen Sam. All right, so let's go ahead and get this party started. DJ Big Six is ready. Lana is here. Okay, Rhea. All right, my Egypt Sheila. All right, y'all know I love me some royals. All right, Miss Snap. Oh yeah, is in the house. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, first and foremost, listen. You know, as I told you all earlier when I reported from courthouse, this young lady seems to have really been in love with Diddy, and I really, you know, I feel sorry for her. But at some point, you have to realize that a person doesn't mean you any good. Okay. Hey, Veronica, Sheila, Mama Joycelyn. Okay. Just anticipating the house. So let's talk about it because here's the thing. So this young lady met Diddy, as I told you all on yesterday. She went to Turks and Caicos with him, got all in love with him and everything. He wooed her. And then it seems like he just started playing her to the left. And all he really wanted was to use her as an object or a tool to get his own self-gratification. Now, there was a point where she didn't feel comfortable messing around with these S workers, okay, without using protection. And he tried to persuade her, oh, you don't need to worry about using that. They've all been tested. Okay. And then, you know, they asked her, why not insist that he wear a condom? She said, because I didn't want to disappoint my lover, you know, and they said, what would happen? She said he'd not be happy or he wouldn't be in a good mood. So in a typical night, a typical hotel night, that's what it was called, how would it end? She said he would have the S worker to put the sauce on her, okay? And then the two of them would have sex with that sauce. Also egregious. Okay, so now that's just a brief recap from what I told you all on yesterday. But now let's get into it because today when she was on the stand, it was really, some of this may sound repetitive because it was really a lot of the same thing. I mean, he was, you know, she was telling the same story over and over, it seemed, because they were showing all of these text messages where Diddy was just being so rude. Diddy is just low down to me. Like, I really, some of the stuff she was saying, it just really made my stomach turn because I felt like Diddy didn't have any empathy or sympathy. This woman sitting there telling him that her grandmother passed away, and his suggestion is to have a hotel night. And then when she's crying, he's telling her, he's looking at her like her face is disgusted, is what she said. Okay. Then he's telling her, you know, don't start that crying because I'm too high for that right now. I can't deal with it. Well, what about what she's dealing with? What about what she's dealing with? And I know some people are going to say, oh, you know, she's dumb or she should have just known better. Well, the truth is she should have known better. But sometimes when people are in love, they do foolish things. And we all should know that by now. So anyway, she wanted him to take her out on trips, you know, take her out to dinners, to do special things for her birthday. And rather than doing things that he would promise, he would make these promises to her. He'd say, okay, yeah, you know, we can go on a trip for your birthday. We can go out to dinner. We'll make plans. But then when the time comes, everything would always go back to being a hotel night. He would always find some sort of way to finagle his way into getting her to do it. And I believe that a large portion of why she did it is because he was plying her with rugs, okay, giving her these illegal substances so that she's not thinking clearly and she's much more likely to go along with whatever he's trying to push, whatever narrative he's trying to push. So she said he was never, hold on. Okay, so when she's talking about this one particular guy, this S worker by the name of Cabral. Now, Cabral was somebody that she felt closer to. She felt some sort of likability with him. And so often when she would set these things up, she would call him Cabral, okay, because she felt comfortable. And she was attracted to him, obviously, because there was one guy, like I told you all earlier, she said he was sweaty. He just was not attractive. He had a stench to him. And Diddy sitting there telling her, you know, don't you want to taste it? I'm sorry. No, sir. Okay, just trying to coerce her into doing all this stuff. So anyway, she basically got this guy, Cabral, who she was familiar with. Okay, and then he ended up going to LA, New York. Okay, he would fly to different places to meet up with them. by plane. And this was all paid for. Sometimes she said she paid for it, then Diddy would reimburse her. There was another guy, and she called him Chef. Now, she called him Chef because she said he told her that he liked to cook. So that's what she started to call him. Okay. And she said she gave him the money. And sometimes the cash would come from Sean. Okay. That's what she called him. Sometimes the cash would come from Sean. And hold on, honey. I'm trying to read this right. Okay. Then there was another guy by the name of Anton. Now, Anton, she also was attracted to him. She liked him. And she said she would call him sometimes. Now, she messaged him. Actually, when she first got with this, started dealing with this guy, she said she had messaged him on IG, okay, after seeing him do Corn with the P, because her and Diddy, they would watch a lot of Corn, okay, while they're having their own relations. And so she was watching Corn by this guy by the name of Anton. And so she looked him up on Instagram, hopped in his DMs, got in touch with him, and then she invited him over and had him come to her apartment. And she said he was nice and sweet and had a nice bubbly personality. Now, here's the thing. I thought it was kind of strange that she invited this person to her apartment. You don't know this person from a can of paint, neither did Diddy. Okay, you just hopped in his DMs and then to be comfortable inviting him to your place, I just thought that was kind of crazy. So they would have these rendezvous. They would have them at hotels and sometimes her apartment. She said Diddy would watch. Okay, he would be sitting there watching. And then he would also be recording it. Now, she didn't really seem to mind him recording these sessions. And then also he would tell her to reach out to some of these guys, like Cabral, for example, and have them to send her D pics. Okay, now what does that tell you? She wasn't asking for herself. She didn't want to see the D pics, but Diddy would have her to do this. And then he would have her, talking to them on FaceTime about SEX while he's sitting there listening. And then she said when she wasn't plied full of illegal substances, then maybe she would send them a text or something or call them or whatever and say certain things that were explicit. Then by the time they reply back, she may not still be on that high. And she said it was a difference when she wasn't on the substances, and then when they would reply back, she said it just felt so weird to her. Like really, she was disgusted. So she, and one guy had texted her back or whatever. And he was sent her a picture of his cucumber. And she said something like, oh, okay, nice. But she said she was very bland about how she responded because she just totally was not in the mood because she was in her right frame of mind. So I really just think that, like I told you all, I think Diddy wanted to see these men and that was his fantasy. And he got a kick and a thrill out of watching these men do their thing. And I also think that's why he didn't want them wearing any type of protection because he wanted to see it in the raw and didn't care about. This woman said that she had numerous UTIs. Numerous, okay, almost getting them weekly on a regular basis, and then also being sore in certain areas, and you all can figure that out, okay. At the end of the day, Easy says Russian roulette activity. Absolutely. So having all of these UTIs and yeast infections, as she said, and then one time she was so it was so painful in that area that she just couldn't even do it. But did he feel sorry? Did he try to slack up on her? Did he show her any empathy or sympathy? No, he went in on her. Oh, so you can't do it? Oh, so you you can't take no more of this D? I mean, he didn't care. All he cared about was himself. And, like I told you also, he was using this woman. That's what it was. He was using her because at the same time, she's sitting there crying and begging him, to take me out for my birthday, do something with me or whatever, other than just these hotel nights, because she started to feel used at a certain point. First, she thought it was all a fantasy. Okay, so let me help him fulfill his fantasy. But then it turned into an every time she saw him thing. Every time she saw him, that's what he wanted to do. Meanwhile, he's got some other woman that he's taking out, wining her and dining her. They're going out of town. They went on a trip to Turks and Caicos, which is where he initially took her. She said that's where she fell in love with him and she wanted to get that feeling back. So she kept asking him, can we go there for my birthday? And then he's giving her excuses. But then he takes this other woman. And then this other woman is posting this stuff on her social media. He's posting on his social media. She said that he wasn't even doing little simple things with her, but he'd take this other woman. They were even working out at the gym together. So then, and we also heard some audio of Diddy's low down self, how he was talking to her when she was complaining about certain things. She asked him about the pictures that she saw on the woman's social media where she was at the gym working out with him. And he was like, listen, I don't have to explain myself to you. I'm a single man. He said she called me and said she wanted to work out. So I told her she could work out. I already told you I don't have a lot of guy friends. I don't have a lot of male friends. Okay, I have friends. We were just working out. He said, and if I just got done effing her, I can do that because I'm single. And I'm getting tired of you comparing yourself to some other woman. So this is how he was talking to her. He did not have any empathy or sympathy. He didn't care that this woman was crying, that he was breaking her heart. He did not care. And like I said, some people will say that she's stupid. You know, maybe she was. But sometimes when you're in love, don't you do the stupid things? Okay. So anyway, the guy Anton messaged him on IG after seeing his corn and then getting in touch with him. That's when she invited him over or whatever. And then now he came over. She got to know him better and was more comfortable with him. Okay, then they were booking. They were hold on. Oh, she asked him what's your full name and date of birth. And they were like, well, why were you asking him? Why did you need to know his full name and date of birth? And she said to book his flight. Okay, and she said so I could give Jess the information to book his flight. They were like, who is Jess? She said that's Diddy's travel agent who booked the flight for Cabral. Okay. So then she received a text from Cabral with explicit videos. Now, and she basically just said looking good, and she put 2 smiling faces. That was another bland response. Okay. She said in her sober mind, it's not what she wanted to see. And then he messaged her back like saying, what's up, beautiful? How's your day going? She didn't even respond. So then he traveled to be the entertainer for that night. And here's some of the guys. There was Paul, there was Don, there was Cabral, and there was Antoine. Now there were others as well, but these were the regulars. Okay. They had hotel nights almost every week or at least every other week. Some of it took place on Two Star Island, okay, specifically in 2024, also at her LA residence. So the hotel nights they started to decrease after February of 2024. Okay, because we know by then Diddy was under a whole investigation. So that's probably why those things slacked up. Now, she said the guy named Don, she first met him in 2021. This is one of the S workers. Okay, she met him in 2021. And then August of 2024 was the last time that she saw him. Okay, and then Paul, she met him through Sean or Diddy in 2021. Then she said she saw him often. He was actually a personal trainer and worked for Cowboys and Angels also. That's the service or the company where they would get these S workers from. Then she met Leo in 2022 on her birthday. Okay, now, and here's the thing. For her birthday, like I told you, she wanted to go out to dinner, wanted to do something nice. And Diddy would say, yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, that's what we'll do. But then he'd take her out and then gave her a pill. Okay, and now it's back to square one. Like a hamster in a wheel, just going around in a circle, continuously doing the same thing. And now, even with a guy that was all sweaty and smelly and she wasn't attracted to, she still tried to make it work. Okay, she said she still tried to make it work. She tried to seduce him and with her body. She said she took off her robe. You know, she would wear this lingerie with a robe on top and these stripper shoes. So she said she took off her robe and then she was trying to seduce him or whatever. She let him touch on her legs or whatever, and then let him see her body. And then he was not wearing anything. He was in his birthday suit, but she just couldn't get into it. So Diddy asked her to taste it, and she tried to move around that subject because she clearly didn't want to. She turned to him and said, "I'm not feeling this." Okay, while the other man was steady hovering over her, and Diddy kept telling her to look at it. The man was all sweaty, just standing there, and then Diddy finally excused him. Okay, it is really sad, Nessa G. It is really sad. So then Diddy told her, well, don't worry. He said he had somebody else coming. Okay, he wanted her to touch a man while she was blindfolded. Okay, she saw it was Paul. Now she had taken a liking to him, but she didn't want to have sex with him because she only wanted to really have it with Diddy. And then Michael came. Now, sometimes these men would come right after another. Diddy would have her doing these 12 to 15-hour sessions, sometimes involving multiple people. Then this guy named Michael came. She says he was really nice and attractive. Sean was having small talk on the balcony. Later, they had a convo about Michael. Okay. And he says, she says, do you know this man? Or I'm sorry, that's what the prosecutor asked her. Do you know this man? She said she remembered meeting him in 2023. Now, this was someone they showed her a picture of. She couldn't remember the guy's name, but she said she remembered meeting him in 2023. Okay, she said Sean had told her he had something for her, and they met in LA at a hotel. She can't recall the hotel, but Sean said something new was coming. And when the guy got there, she said that Diddy greeted him and then brought him, to where she was. She came out of the bedroom wearing a robe and her lingerie. She went into the living room. She said, I was polite and made small talk. She knew she couldn't fake it. Okay, he wasn't attractive. She tried talking to him to get to know him better, but she said she was so repulsed by him. Okay, she tried for 30 minutes and then told Diddy, I just can't do it. He said, you sure? Maybe just a little bit. I mean, desperate. I would have told him, do it your damn self. I just told you, I don't want to do it. I'm not feeling it. Do it your damn self is what I would have told him. Because after all, isn't that what he really wanted to do? Because that's certainly what it seems like. So yeah, he said maybe just a little bit. So then she tried again to see if there was any type of chemistry. And she let him touch her leg or whatever. This is the same smelly, sweaty guy. Okay. She said she let him touch her leg and see her, without anything. And it just, nothing was working. She said, I just couldn't do it. So Diddy clearly became agitated. And then they finally excused the guy. And then someone else came in. Okay, now she really didn't want to do it, but she went ahead and did it anyway. And here's the thing. Diddy would tell her to come and meet him somewhere. Like maybe if he flew to New York or flew to Miami or whatever, he would have her tell her to come and meet him. And one day she was like, I don't even want to come because I already know what you want me to do. You want me to be doing the hotel nights. And he's like, no, come on, we can go out. We can have a good time, this, that, and the third. But as soon as she gets there, he would say, like I said, he would sneak it in. He would say something like, yeah, let's just have, we can do what you want, but can we just do a hotel night first? And then they end up doing the hotel night. And then they never do what she wanted because now they're both tired from having these hours long sessions. Sometimes 18 hours, 30 hours, just ridiculous. And then she said they spend the rest of their time sleeping. So how is she going to get anything to, do anything that she really wants to do? Then she says she didn't want to go, but she went anyway. And she told Diddy, I feel you're going to try to set me up. This is what she told him when he asked her to come on a trip to meet him. She said, I really don't want to come because I think you're trying to set me up. This was sometime in 2023. Now they say before you went on this trip, you told him you didn't want to go to you didn't want to do a hotel night. That's what the prosecution asked. And he said they could go to dinner. He texted her on the flight mid-air. Now I want you to think about this, specifically you ladies. Okay, if you are thinking that this guy is inviting you out on a trip so you all can have a good time, he's telling you he's going to fly you out. And we're not going to be doing any of that other stuff, the debauchery, the hotel nights, that's what they called it. But then when you're mid-air in your flight, you get a text from him asking if they could have an entertainer that night. That's what he said. Mid-air. Now she's halfway there. Can we have an entertainer tonight? That's when she said she felt a weight come over her and it felt like a balloon had popped. Okay? It felt like a balloon had popped. So she ended up going to the Trump Hotel. She said Diddy was there. He had heels and clothes for her. She said, I was happy because she saw he had bought her some things. She said she was waiting in the SUV for him. She waited for like 40 minutes and then realized that the dinner was non-existent. Okay, because supposedly he wanted her to do this and then say we'll go to dinner. But by the time she sat out there and waited in the car for him for like in the SUV for 40 whole minutes, well, by this time she knew we're not going to dinner. It's getting late. Okay, so she actually took a photo while she was in the car. And they showed that photo in court. And they asked her why she took the picture. She said because she could see like the hotel. And actually, let me back that up. They didn't have the hotel night before they went to the dinner. He was setting it up and had her thinking that they're going to dinner. So she's sitting in the SUV waiting for dinner. But then she took a picture because she said she looks up and she could see the assistants or somebody in there setting up the room for the hotel nights. You know, because Diddy would like the red lights lit up and all that stuff. So she could see what was going on. So she took a picture of that. She took a photo while she's sitting in the car. She said the red light room was being set up to have a hotel night. Okay, so they ended up finally finding a bar that was about to close. Then they ended up bickering back and forth because, of course, she's upset because you lied. You said you were going to take me to dinner, and now here we are back doing the same thing that we always do. So she said, I was handed a pill and went back to the hotel with him. When she was asked why every time she would always do it, and you see what's going on, you know, why would you keep going back? She says, Diddy said, she said when she would talk to him or argue with him about it or just complain about it, he would tell her, we don't have to do it anymore. Okay? We just don't have to do it anymore. She says in her heart, she knew that he didn't mean it. And on the way to the hotel, he gave her ecstasy and told her that someone was coming. Now, like I said, just lying, telling her one thing and doing another. Okay, so she tried to get into it, but she just wasn't. Now, he asked, what would make this better? She said, I really wanted to make it happen for him. So I messaged Cabral. She messaged Cabral, and they ended up having fun with him. Now, afterwards, they gave him the money, or the money was left at the front desk for him. Okay, so then there was the guy she talked about that she met in 2022. She felt he was a little bit odd. Okay, he kept smelling some sort of scent during the SEX. She said he was spraying something. He was a European looking man. And she said he kept spraying something and then kept trying to smell it while they were having SEX. I don't know what that was all about, but it does sound weird. And she described him as being odd. Okay, so again, she reached out to Cabral and Antone. And so because she knew them, so she went ahead and had relations with them. Now then Sean called his security. Okay, he ended up calling security. I guess he wanted them to hook something else up. And then here's another thing too. Do you all remember how Cassie said that she had a piercing? Well, I think Diddy told Cassie to get that piercing, but he also told her to get piercings too. He wanted her to get her nipples pierced. She didn't really want to do it, but then she went ahead and did it. And then she said she ended up taking the piercings out because they got snagged on her lingerie and they bled and then got infected. So when she told Diddy, he was fine with her removing them until after months passed and he saw she had not put them back in. Now he wants her to put them back in. I mean, all so crazy. Okay, Perfect Blackness says, sounds like a volunteer to me. She may not have liked it, but she was willingly participating. Well, you know, like I said, sometimes people do crazy things when they're all in love. Somebody's saying there's a troll in the chat. Andrea says, why are you explaining the story with bias? He is guilty of many things, but this Rico is a stretch. And I think at least one juror willed it that way as well. Well, here's the thing, beloved. If you don't like how I'm explaining the story, you know, there's a whole bunch of other YouTubers that you can go watch, right? Okay. I don't know what makes you think I'm being biased, because I don't give a damn about Diddy, and Diddy does need to go to prison. I've said that a myriad of times. Now, if I'm telling the story as it was told in court, because I was actually there, and I'm repeating what she says, at the same time, I am entitled to give my opinion. Okay? Marie said he was basically a pimp holding rent payments over her head, and it's coercion. Yes, that's what he was doing. He was pimping her out. And then when she would say she didn't want to do it, he would say something like, well, you know, look at the roof over your head and that pretty smile. This is what he would tell her, you know, and then he would just talk so mean to her, telling her, you know, basically, like they played the audio recordings, as I told you. And he was like, look, I ain't gonna keep telling you, okay, I already told you got one more time to disrespect me. You're not gonna be cursing me out. Okay, you doing all this complaining. I mean, he would just go in on her, like no sympathy whatsoever. He didn't feel bad about any of it. And this is what leads me to believe that he never cared about her. I don't even think he really even cared about Cassie at the end of the day. Okay, I don't think he even really cared about Cassie. So anyway, they asked her at some point, hold on. Did you ever experience back pain? This is what they asked her. Now, before I get into that, she said she was okay with the first time, and then she got annoyed. She got annoyed, but she had to continuously keep doing it. And then, as I told you, Diddy had her get those piercings, and when she took them out, he got upset about that. Okay, so then the prosecution asked her, did you ever experience back pain? She says, yes, and my shoulders. Okay, and they said, well, why did you have back pain? Now, y'all listen to this. They said, why did you have back pain and shoulder pain? She said, because she would be on the bed for hours. She would be on the edge of the bed, okay? She'd be on the edge of the bed for hours. And they were like, why? She said, because she was trying to please him, because he didn't want her to stop. He wanted her to keep going. And he would say encouraging things like, come on. We got to finish strong. Isn't that what Cassie said too? Isn't that the same exact thing that she said, that he would be encouraging her like she's running a marathon? Come on, let's finish strong. Okay, then she said she got constant UTIs and yeast infections almost weekly. Sometimes she'd tell him and sometimes she didn't. Okay, and then they would have these things, she'd have to take these antibiotics, okay, and they might last for a week and a half to 2 weeks. They said, did you ever get sore? She says, yes. Her, you know what, would get sore. And sometimes she didn't tell him because she didn't want to give in to negativity. Okay. And she would also be sore in her pelvic area. Now they asked her to estimate how many times that you told him that you didn't want to do these hotel nights. And she said she can't even give an estimate. She said he'd be very agitated, dismissive, and dominate the entire conversation. Okay. And basically he was a gaslighter. That's what he would do. Okay. That's what he would do. He would start just telling her, you know, okay, well, if you don't want to do it, you know, I mean, you got me putting in my work. You don't want to put in your work. I'm doing my work. This is what he would tell her. And by doing his work, I guess he meant that he was paying her bills, that he was paying the $10,000 a month for where she was staying. So if I'm doing my work, you got me putting in work. Well, I'm gonna need you to put in work too. Basically, is what he was saying. Diddy is low down and dirty. Okay, low down and dirty. Now there was a text message that they read from November the 22nd of 2021. Okay, she said, and this is what she told Diddy in the text. I'm definitely feeling some type of way. Okay, and she said because she was feeling bad because she wanted to go on a trip, and then instead it turned into another hotel night. And then she saw him with another woman and she was jealous. They said, why were you jealous if you knew that he dated other women? She said, because with her, it was all about hotel nights. And she genuinely wanted to spend time with him. She genuinely loved him and started and was missing him. But it was all about Don and slide. Anytime that she got with him, she said it was a Don and slide moment. Okay, and they were like, what's a Don and slide moment? And that's two of the S workers. So that meant it was another hotel night. She said, so I come and do that. And this is what she sent him in the text also. She said, so I come and do that while you go and be booed up for days. I need a breather and a break from you. Hope you two have a great Thanksgiving. By you two, she's talking about him and the other woman. Okay. She says, your true intentions with me have come in plain sight. Don't say you effing miss me and you're over there. Okay. You don't miss me at all. And then that's when they played the audio of him responding to her. He said, you're effing nuts. I'm single. I can do whatever I want. Okay. Now she asked me to work out with me. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. Even if I just got done effing her, it doesn't matter. I'm single. You're not going to keep cursing me out and being disrespectful. Okay. I told you, you got one more time. You aren't. And then she said to him, you aren't just working out. You weren't just working out. Funny thing is, I don't even care. You just want the hotel-ish. Now, with that all being said, they asked her, why did you say you didn't care? She said it wasn't that she cared that he was with other women. It was the fact that she cared that he was doing with this other woman the things that she had been begging him to do, the things that he just wouldn't do. But you know what that's all about? This other woman probably demanded respect. He probably knew that he couldn't try this other woman like that. And once she gave in and did what he asked, now he sees that he can continuously manipulate and control her and then start giving her money to hold that over her head. And $10,000 is not even a lot of money, in my opinion, specifically for what he was having her do. I mean, you're going to have this woman sitting up here doing 3 and 4 men sometimes in a given night, sometimes 30 hours straight with no sleep, plying her with illegal substances to keep her awake, to keep her hyped up, and still going through the motions, constantly having UTIs, yeast infections, pain, and all of this. But you over here whining and dining somebody else. I don't know how she did it. I really don't, because it couldn't have been me. She said, it's not me that you want. It's these hotel nights. Okay. She said, you keep saying you miss me, but it's not me you want. It's these hotel nights. Then she said he FaceTimed her to try to get her to calm down. And then they asked her, how often would you FaceTime him? How often would you all FaceTime and fight over the hotel nights? She said very often. Okay. He would say he loved me and missed me and can't wait to see me. But it was all lies, honey, because all he wanted to do was have those hotel nights. Okay, that's what he loved, and that's what he missed. So then at one point, she went for like 2 weeks without talking to him, maybe a month at the most, whenever they got into it, after she kept telling him her feelings or whatever. So then she says, baby, now she texts him and she says, baby, should I wear a white or black dress? He said black. Okay. And that's because she was supposed to be meeting him for her birthday at the Waldorf in LA. Now he told her they'd have dinner and they would hang out and they would be together. But guess what? They had a hotel night when they met. And this time it was someone new, someone she wasn't even familiar with. Okay, someone she didn't even know. And he told her that entertainment was coming and that she'd like it. That's what he said. She said, I was really high, so I was okay with it. Now, February the 11th of 2022, this is another text where he's saying, why aren't you answering my calls? This is what Diddy was asking. Why aren't you answering my calls? She says, I just hit your other phone. She said she was hurt because she saw the birthday that he planned. She saw the birthday that he planned for this other woman, booked a villa on an island for her and her friends. And then there was a text that said, I don't know how I'm going to make it. I don't know how I'm going to make it out of this. Okay, this is what she's telling him. She went ahead and let him know that she saw the birthday stuff, and then he told her that was his business partner. This is what he's telling her. You've taken this lady out of town. You've booked a villa for her and her friends, whining and dining. And then when she complains about it, he says, oh, that's his business partner. And then start telling her how much money the woman spends on him. Okay, trying to make her feel bad because she doesn't spend money on him, but instead she's asking him for money. Okay, says that he said, don't believe what you see online. Then there was a text that says, I don't ever want to do another hotel night with you. I didn't want to do it on my birthday. This is what she's telling him. I feel so cheap once again. Okay, dates, trips, and travel, all that he promised, you just lied. Mostly all they did was the hotel nights. Now, there was a note from November the 26th of 2022 saying, I've just been waiting for you to do what you promised me. I don't want to do rugs for days. I don't want to do rugs for days and days and do your freaky things anymore. And she just kept talking about the broken promises. Okay. And then also the hotel nights would be so long that she would be tired and spend most of the time sleeping. Now, here's another note from December the 12th of 2022. So he tells her to come and meet up with him. She says, but for what? Okay, but for what? You want to put me to bed and keep me up you want to put me in the bed and keep me up for days, for 3 days, and then just have, these hotel nights while you buy roses, cars, and trips for somebody else, taking them to islands, trips, and jewelry and all of that. Why? So then, and she went back to talking about he had taken another vacation with another woman, and that was also posted on IG. She said she felt this made her feel terrible. She said this broke my heart because she spent her birthday having sex with all these different men. Okay, she spent her birthday having sex with all these different guys. Okay, just to see him doing something so romantic with someone else. She heard him asking, and here's the thing. When she was with him for the hotel nights, she literally heard him asking if the food and the chef were ready, if they were there. And she had a feeling that he was going to do something that was really going to hurt her. So she just flat out asked him. She said, look, are you going on a trip somewhere? And he flat out lied and said no, right to her face. Then later on, she finds out that that's exactly what he did. Went and had this big lavish party for this woman. Okay, had a chef cooking the food and everything was all lit. Lied and told her he wasn't going on a trip, but of course he was. Then when she confronted him about it and asked him why he lied, this is what he says. Well, I didn't want to tell you what I did with her. Okay, you had your birthday. All right, you had your birthday, and I didn't tell her about it. Now, he also paid for her and her friends to go and have a dinner for her birthday while he's out with the other woman on her birthday. And he told her, he said, have a good dinner. That's what he told her. She said, I've been asking you for years now to go to Italy and Turks. Had a birthday dinner with her girlfriends, and they had a good time together, but she still wanted to, hang out with him. So this is what he tells her. He says, listen, go have a good time with your friends. Okay. Stay in the light. Stay in the light is what he would tell her to gaslight her, like basically telling her, don't go into that negative talk. Don't start talking about stuff that you want to complain about. Just stay in the light. Okay. Like be positive. I don't want to hear this. I don't have time for it. She said, it feels like you just used me. Okay. It feels like you just used me. And then you go off for a week. I've been trying to stay strong about it. I want to get off this hamster wheel. You promised me this for years. Trips, traveling, dinner, date nights, quality time. I didn't want to do all, I want to do all of that on my birthday. You know how tired I was. Oh no, this is what he says. You know how tired I was. Okay, I came home to see you on a trip. She's like, it's been 2 years. Okay, she had sex with 3 guys for her birthday. She said, I want to go back to the place where I fell in love. with him, and that was in Turks and Caicos. But instead, he took the other woman there for her birthday. So then he says to her, well, you know what? Let's just not do anything else, okay? Let's not do anything else with, I don't want to do nothing else with you because I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face. Now, this is clearly gaslighting. He's telling her, well, I don't want to do nothing else. Let's just forget about it. Let's not even do anything else because I'm tired of you throwing sex in my face. Now, pay attention, because that's exactly what he was throwing in her face. That's all he ever wanted, apparently. So he says, I'm tired of you throwing this up in my face. And he says, you know, let's just call it quits. Okay? I'm tired of you comparing yourself to another woman. She says, so you're just going to break up with me on this trip? After having sex for 30 and 40 hours and treating her so coldly. And then she says, then breaking up with me? And I asked you for the truth so I wouldn't feel like this. I feel terrible now. I don't stress you. I show up when you want me to, how you want me to. You're the only man in my life. And, you know, you gave me a story of how you were stressed and couldn't take a trip, but then you take a trip with someone else. I feel taken advantage of. He says, you know what? Let's just be friends. I'm tired of you comparing yourself. Okay, let's just be friends. You keep comparing yourself to someone else. She says, don't I give you everything you want? Why am I the one in the wrong? What am I doing wrong? Have we taken things too far and now you look down on me? You're breaking my heart. And you're asking to be just friends. You're going to miss me. This is what she says. You're going to miss me. He says, I've done all that you asked. Okay? We'll miss each other. That's what he told her. Like, he's let her know, honey, you're going to miss me. All right? He said, I've done all that you asked. We're going to miss each other. But he didn't do anything that she asked, quite frankly. So they asked her, how did you handle this? She told him, this is contradictory. Okay, everything you said, this is totally contradictory, and I'm off it. Okay, so then there's a text from February the 18th of 2023. And this is Diddy saying, hello, good morning. Let me make it up to you. Now he wants to try to get in good because he's already gone out and spent time with this other woman and made her feel good on her birthday and been so romantic. Now he wants to have these hotel nights again. So now here he comes trying to creep back in, and he's talking about, hello, good morning. Let me make it up to you. But she ignored him and she didn't respond for about 2 weeks. To be exact, about 13 days. Okay, so now he's trying to get back in her graces. So then he says, come to Miami and we'll figure out a trip. Okay, he tells her that he would make it up to her for her birthday and take her on a trip. Now, March 12th of 2023, planning a birthday trip to Turks and Caicos. That's the text that was sent. Okay, an early trip to give me and you, or to give me time to shop because you're busy with things. This is what she's telling him. Okay, so since we're planning a trip, I just need extra time to shop and you're going to be out doing some things. So we're going to take the trip early. So then he texts her and says, plan a night of debauchery and fun, then a trip. And then she says, I said, I just want us, just the two of us. So we don't need a hotel. And so then he says, okay, so we'll F till we leave. Okay, now she understood that to mean that there would be no hotel nights, that they would just have dinner in Miami. Okay, because they had been missing each other, she says, and they had been bickering about Paris. Okay, because she had gone to Paris with her friends. Apparently, he sent her and her friends on that trip, and she came back early. Now, he obviously wanted to get rid of her. So when she came back early, he was irritated and kept asking her about Paris, okay, because she had just left. So she said she was glad to finally have him to herself, and she could tell that he missed her. Honey, I don't think he missed her. I think he missed the hotel nights. Now, she said she took a pill and went to the Mandarin Hotel. They got high, and he asked her for a hotel night. She agreed because she had gotten used to the rhythm of things. Because the prosecutor was like, wait a minute, why would you agree to it? You just said you didn't want to do it. You were tired of it. She says, well, by this time, I had just gotten used to the rhythm of things. So the next day, they took a jet to Turks and Caicos. So now she's excited because she's thinking, okay, we had the hotel night. I gave him what he wanted. We got that out of the way. Now he's going to actually take me to Turks and Caicos for my birthday. They were supposed to stay there for 5 days. Well, guess what happens when they get there? She said they got there, they made love all night. They woke up and he seemed bored. She says after having this romantic night where they made love and cuddled and all of that, the next morning he woke up and seemed like he was bored. And she felt bad for him. Honey, she should have felt bad for herself. Okay, so she said she took pictures on the beach. And after the first day that they were in Turks and Caicos, guess what? Paul shows up. Who is Paul? One of the S workers. Now he has flown this person to Turks and Caicos, where she's supposed to be there, just the two of them on her birthday, because she already did the hotel night before they left. But no, that wasn't enough. So he flies the man out there. Okay. She says Paul came, and this is the first day. She didn't even have a whole darn day with him herself until, before he flies somebody out. So she says their villa was right next to the hotel. So they met Paul there and had a hotel night for 24 hours. Okay, had sex with Paul while Diddy sat there and watched. Then afterwards, she says, I was happy as we walked back to our villa. Now, why was she happy? Well, because now she's thinking, I'm going to get to be with him by myself. Okay, I got that out of the way. We did another hotel night for 24 hours. Okay, now we're walking back to the villa. We left Paul at the hotel, so now I can have some peace and quiet with him and just be us. So she was excited. She said, I was excited to just cuddle with him. She said, he looks like but then she said she noticed the look on his face. He's looking like he wants more. Like he's not done with the hotel nights, like he wants to do it again. So he asked her, do you have more in you? She said, then I remember he calls Paul and invites Paul to their villa. Now they literally just left Paul at the hotel. They were there for 24 whole hours, get back to the villa and want to lay down and relax and cuddle. But he's looking like, whoo, can you do some more? Because honey, I sure could use another sip of this tea of Paul. Okay, can we just let's do it again. This is what he's giving. So she says that he invites Paul to their villa. Now, before Paul came, Diddy gave her a beautiful bracelet with 2 hearts. She said, I embraced him and thanked him and felt loved by him. And then Paul shows up. Now, I put in parentheses right here, back to square one. Okay. So this is the 4th round at this point. I want you all to pay attention. She's been over at Paul's hotel with Diddy for 24 hours. Now he's invited to the villa. She says at this point, this is the 4th round of sex. Okay. She says, I remember this night because it was really painful. Because she says she was extremely sore and I just couldn't do it. So he gave her some more lube. Like, keep it going, honey. You sore down there? Okay, well, let me pull out the Astroglide and the baby oil. Girl, go on and put on some of this Astroglide. You'll be all right, back in the saddles again. That's basically his attitude. She said she couldn't do it, and he gave her some more lube. He said, you can't take no more? She said she got so mad, she took off that bracelet and threw it against the wall. She said, you only wanted me here to suck D for you. I left and walked around crying. She said she didn't even know where she's going. She's just walking crying. And he comes after her, talking about, are you crazy? She says to him, are you crazy? How can you make me look like that in front of Paul? She said she couldn't believe it. And she was so frustrated. She said, and he told her, now here's what he tells her. After she's saying, I can't believe you made me look like that in front of Paul, like she was humiliated. You know what he tells her? He tells her, you owe Paul an apology. Okay? You owe Paul an apology. And then he slept in a separate bedroom from her that night. She said she ended up texting to apologize to Paul because that's what he wanted her to do. So sad. Now, March the 19th of 2023, there was another text. It says, just wanted you guys to know I'm already back at the airport. Okay, that's what Paul said. Paul was letting her and him know that he's back at the airport. Okay, he said he texted and she asked him, did you tell Sean? And he says, well, I texted and got no response. I hadn't seen him since last night. She says, I'm going 24 hours with no breaks, nonstop sex. Okay, we tried to argue and he feels he didn't do anything wrong. Now, this is after after not seeing each other for a month, because she had cut him off for a minute again, and she didn't see him for a whole month. So she's thinking this man misses her. He wants to make it all up. This is a lie that he told. Okay. So she said, they asked her, would you have gone on the trip to Turks if you had known you were going to have to do these hotel nights? She said no. She wouldn't have. I mean, this is all so sad. At the end of the day, we can say, yeah, she went ahead and did these things. She didn't have to. But like I said, honey, when people are in love, we know people do foolish things. Okay, please pay attention. So then when she started complaining again, he got tired of it. She told him, I'm getting tired of these freaky nights. Okay. I miss you and I just want you. Guess what he tells her? When she says, I miss you and I just want you, he says, well, get over it. Okay. Just get over it. Look at the roof over your head, that pretty smile. I don't want you to do anything if you don't want to. That's what he texts her. Now, August the 4th of 2023, he said, if that's how you feel, or she said, if that's how you feel. Okay, so this whole thing goes on like this from here. I mean, it's like the same story being told over and over, because they keep showing different text messages, reading the different text messages. There's like 2 audio that they played of him just going off on her, just talking trash, cursing her out, telling her basically, you keep walking, keep it pushing. Like, I don't have to deal with this from you. It's like it was so obvious that he didn't give a damn about this woman. I just don't understand how for the life of me she didn't get it. Okay, after the first time she saw him with this other woman, doing all of this romantic stuff for her, but then he keeps asking you to do these hotel nights. She should have caught the hint right then and there. She should have known that he doesn't mean her any good. All he wants to do is use her for sex. Panda Strike said, how long did this relationship go on? From 2021 until he was arrested. That's how long it went on. From 2021 until he was arrested. I mean, isn't that so sad at the end of the day? And here's the thing. Let me tell you all this part. So he was planning for her to have an all-star. Okay, he wanted her to have an all-star party. And you might be wondering, what the hell is an all-star party, right? Well, this is where he wanted her to invite the top favorites of all the sex workers so she can go round for round, pound for pound with them. Okay, while he sits there and watch. Absolutely sick. And then she couldn't do it because the all-star had to get canceled because it was that time of the month. So I guess he didn't believe her. He thought she's just trying to back out of it, and he gets mad and starts talking ish again. Okay, so she actually sends him a picture of some of the stuff that comes when it's that time. Okay, like she said, it was a picture of pink, and she told him this pink is about to be bright red in a minute, and y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, so he just didn't give a darn, honey. At the end of the day, it was all so sad. She sent him that, and she said, I was doing what I had. She said that I sent him a picture of that time. Okay, that time, y'all know what I'm talking about, the cycle. The pink was about to be bloody red in a minute. That's what she told him. Okay, and then she asked, could they postpone it? And he says, she says, I was doing what I had to do. He says, this whole ish is so weird. This is what he's telling her. This whole ish is so weird. I'm mad as hell. Okay, I'm mad as hell. And don't ask me about no money ever again. I'm going to fall back. This is what he told her. I'm going to fall back. Don't ask me about no money again. I'm going to fall back. Okay? You ain't even, and then he says, this is gaslighting at its finest. He says, you ain't even suggest a movie night or dinner or nothing. Even if she did, he never took her on one. I mean, this is all crazy. He told her, he said, this some weird ass ish. F you. And then so she sent him a picture of an ampon with a T. Okay, she sent that to show that she wasn't able to do it. He said, F you. That's what he said. This fool said, F you, because it's that time. Which leads me back to Cassie. Because remember when Cassie was saying that he would make her do this when it was that time? So that's what he really wanted her to do. Didn't even care. I mean, this is all so sad. Just Anticipate said, what? I don't know, beloved. I don't even know if she has any of those. Okay, so anyway, the bottom line is, if I continue to go through this whole thing, it's going to be the same thing over and over, because that's all it was. He was just using this woman. And then on one of the audios, this is what he told her on one of the audios. He said, I'm about to really disappear on you. Okay, you about to have a rude awakening. I don't have time for no games. Babe, I don't have time for these games, baby girl. You better get on your job, because you got me on my job. Okay? You going the direction. You can keep going in that direction and moving on. I can't keep doing this with you. I ain't doing this with no woman. That's what he told her. I ain't doing this with no woman. You can keep going. You can keep going on, baby girl. I ain't got time for these games. And that's basically how he left it. Okay, low down and dirty, like I told you all. It's really sad. It's really egregious that somebody would do somebody like this. Let me tell you something. I don't care if she was foolish for doing it or not. At the end of the day, how do you not have empathy and sympathy for somebody that's sitting there pouring out their heart to you, telling you how much they love you, telling you how much they care for you? You said the audio is released on TMZ. Hold on, let me pull it up so I can play it for you all. Thank you, beloved. Telling her to get on her job. Here it is. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance, beloveds. Hold on. Let me put an overlay on this.
So I don't know. Hey, I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know. You think you silent treating me, and you think I'm going to be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. And ain't nobody threatening you, and I ain't trying to go back and forth with no woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I ain't got no time for no games. Where my life is at right now, I don't have no time for no games, baby girl. Me and you could be mad, I could have a spat, we could have whatever. Then after that, you better get on your job. That's really, that's all it is. Cause you got me on my job. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice. So either you go in the direction of like moving on and like that, or you like just like have me just keep moving. Ain't no threat. I'm just being clear. I can't do this with you every time you get upset. Yeah, that's my friend. I'm in Miami. I don't have a lot of friends out here. Okay. She asked me if she could work out with me. I said okay. You gotta believe what you want. It's the last time you gonna be cursing at me, disrespecting me over nothing. Like I'm a human being. I'm not gonna lock myself up in a room and have no friends. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. I already told you that. And she just came over to work out. Like, but I'm not gonna be explaining to you. It don't matter if I just got finished her the other day. I'm single. I could do whatever the I want to, but I didn't. You're straight flipping out on me, and I told you that you had one more time to do this. Flipping out on me because somebody came to work out with me at my house. You're nuts. So be sad, go crazy, do whatever the you want to do. Okay, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve being honest with somebody. And then every time they see somebody around, they like, I'm doing something. I'm working out. Girl, I done sent you flowers already. Ain't nobody talk about that in the past? That's what I'm talking about. You don't know how to just move on. How can somebody like have a relationship with you even as a friend and you don't know how to move on? You go to like it just goes crazy. Just stop. I'm saying let's move on. And my tone is like this. I'm just waking up.
Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. I want y'all to pay attention, honey. That is just cold-blooded and heartless. Some of you all in the chat say he sounded like a pimp. Yeah, that's what he was, as far as I'm concerned. And now do y'all see why they charging him with trafficking? Okay. I mean, he was gaslighting this poor woman, honey. Just no empathy, no care, concern. Okay. Told her she was nuts. She was crazy. At the end of the day, that's what he said. She's crazy. You're nuts. You're mad because somebody coming to work out with me at my house. I don't have to explain myself to you. This is all a hot mess at the end of the day. But I'm going to tell y'all something. For those of you saying you don't see a federal crime, let me explain it to you very clearly. Okay? Let me explain to you very clearly. Mama Joyce said, Queen, do you think the feds are proving their case using James? Social media is still split down the middle, which tells me that the jury is probably split and the case is not a slam dunk. Well, here's the thing. Yes, they're proving their case, and I'm going to tell you why. Whether we like it or not, hey, Nicole said this case is crazy. It is. Here's the thing, beloved. Okay, so remember, Diddy is being also, he's indicted under the Mann Act as well. The Mann Act is when you take someone across state lines to engage in prostitution with a P. Now, they already have proven that because this is why they're using so much of her testimony. They asked her about these S workers. Well, did they travel with you? She already said just the travel agent booked the flights. She already said that's why she asked the man for his real name and address or birth date or whatever. She already said that he flew Paul out to Turks and Caicos. He's flown numerous of these people to different places. Terry Hinn said, Queen, when he flew out escort to Caicos, isn't that trafficking? Yes. Like I said, under the Mann Act, all you got to do is take somebody across state lines to engage in debauchery or prostitution with a P, like I said. And that's all he was taking these people out of town for. And he was the one paying for it. So this is why they kept asking her, who booked the flights? Where did you meet this person? Well, like when she said she would meet new guys, well, where did you meet this person? Who introduced you to him? This is all them proving their case, honey. Now, people can sit here and say they don't see it. It don't matter if you see it or not. The prosecution sees it. And if you think the jury doesn't understand the rules and guidelines, well, you know, the judge will make sure that before they go to deliberate, that they're instructed on exactly what a RICO is and how you arrive at a decision or not. That's how that goes. Perfect Blackness said this is a stretch. You know what? It may be a stretch, beloved, but these are the rules that they have made. Okay? These are the rules that they have made. At the end of the day, whether we like it or not, these are the rules. All right? We're not out here making the laws. They are. And at the end of the day, they have proven their case with coercion. They have proven the bribery. Okay, I told you already, the security guard testified under immunity that he got $100,000 for him, his supervisor, and another officer to split. $50,000 for the boss, $30,000 for him, and $20,000 for the other officer. They signed a non-disclosure agreement, and that was that. There's 2 predicate acts right there. Let us not, and you only need 2 in a 10-year span. Let's not forget about the extortion of Cassie's mother, sending the $20,000, even though he sent it back. I told you all weeks ago that it's still extortion. There's 3. Then I already told you all about the commingling of funds, where you're using business expenses, business finances rather, to fund personal trips. Commingling of funds. All right, you have that right there. Then you had your assistants. They testified under immunity. 2 of the assistants, you had George Kaplan and you had David James. They both testified that they picked up illegal substances. They took an 8-ball to Nelly, is what one of them alleged. Okay. They were picking up stuff and bringing it to him. These things are all illegal. Okay. This person that testified, Jane Doe, even said that he had her to go pick up illegal substances from KK. KK told her to wait. I'm going to have the security bring it out to you. She was concerned because she was getting on a flight with this stuff and she felt it was dangerous. They assured her it's okay. She says that KK told her, oh, don't worry, it's okay. I do it all the time. So what does that tell you? This is absolutely a criminal enterprise. Wake up. Okay? That's just what it is at the end of the day. Hold on. Hold on, beloveds. I got a text just came through. Let me see what this is all about. Aubrey said it's still up to the jury. Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it's still up to the jury, of course. It don't matter what we think. Hold on. Oh, I saw this. Ray J responded. Yeah, I saw this. I saw this already. Hold on. Let me see if I can play this. Hold on, you guys.
Whitney Houston. Ray J was Whitney Houston's gay best friend, selling her illegal substances, and it's alleged that he gave her a fatal cocktail because Clive Davis allegedly had an insurance policy on her, and obviously when these celebrities pass away, their music sell like crazy. And Whitney Houston was supposed to perform that night, and we know.
Okay, that's not saying what happened or whatever. He did say alleged, but here's what Ray J said. Ray J said, what the F? See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now I had enough. I'm about to do my final crash out for real. Uh-oh, Ray J, where you going with it? But this one is for my kids and for my moms and pops and Brandy and my niece. If something happened to me, then so be it. The truth matters more in the long run. I'm talking to everybody who played with me this week and sent me threats. You know who you are, and continue to try to manipulate me. Just be, hold on. I need to pull this up, honey. This is all a hot mess. Okay. I don't have any problems with that young man. He hasn't done anything to me. He treats me nice. I don't try to get involved in YouTube beefs between other people. Okay. If somebody comes for me, that's a different story. But if somebody else have beef, it don't have nothing to do with the queen, honey. All right? It don't have anything to do with me. So he treats me nice. So I go by that. I can't be beefing with somebody because other people are beefing with them at the end of the day. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. I know exactly who this lady is that posted this because I met her in court the other day. Matter of fact, I follow her. I showed you all her work before. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm trying to see. Where's the one? Oh, okay. I'm on the wrong thing. Hold on, beloveds. Hold on. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Let me go to the neighborhood talk. That's where this one is with the response from Ray J. This is all a hot mess. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please, please don't forget to like and share. Y'all know I'm out here working hard, honey. It's hot as hell out here in New York. I just want y'all to know.
Was brought up in court today. They told Vanna, drug dealer Ray J, she said, I don't know if that's his name. It sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah, when I heard that.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna hold on.
Ray J.
Okay, so here's what he said. What the F? See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now I had enough. I'm about to do my final crash out for real. But this one is for my kids and for my moms and pops and Brandy and my niece. If something happened to me, then so be it. The truth matters more in the long run. I'm talking to everybody who played with me this week and sent me threats. You know who you are, and continue to try to bully and manipulate me. Just being, you've been paying me to be quiet. Okay, treat me like I'm your slave and silence the truth. Well, something right here is blocked out. I don't know what that said. Well, blank your money. I think it means F your money. Okay, I don't want it no more. I'm about to activate. You really thought all this hush money you gave me? Hold on. You really thought all this hush money you gave me could, it should say, keep me quiet forever. Okay, could keep me quiet forever so you could pretend to be great people? Well, not anymore. It's nothing you can do. So bring on the pain. Send everybody. I'm waiting for you. And this dude on this interview quit to tear down another black man and talk about something he don't know nothing about, and then bring up Whitney as if I had something to do with it. Wait, what? I'm driving, so sit down. I'm driving, so sit down. Stand by. Honey, this is all so nefarious at the end of the day, honey. I don't know where Ray J's going with this. I don't know what Ray J is about to do. Okay, at the end of the day, please pay attention. Okay, Marie says, but Ray J, folks been saying you had that coat over your head and was rushed away. Why was that? What? Okay. Aubrey said people do use fake names. Could have somebody called themselves Ray J. The witness did say she didn't believe it was the singer, and I don't believe he had anything to do with Whitney's passing. Honey, let me tell you something. I don't know nothing about Whitney's passing. I'm not even gonna get into that or entertain it. But here's what I do know. The person said they didn't know that it was the singer, said they didn't believe it was the singer. Honey, they knew exactly who it was, okay? Please pay attention. I was sitting right there. They knew exactly who it was. They tried to act like they didn't know who it was. And then Nicole Westmoreland said, you don't know who Ray J is? Like, girl, you don't know who Ray J is? And then she's like, oh, well, I mean, it sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him. Here's the thing. If it was not Ray J, the singer, don't you think they would have said that? Because quite frankly, if we hear Ray J, we're going to automatically assume that it's the real Ray J. Who else calls himself that? So if it were not Ray J, I'm pretty sure they would have expressed, this is not the singer Ray J. Okay? Now keep in mind, before the trial started, they did say that there was going to be a myriad of celebrities' names included. Didn't mean that they had anything to do with Diddy's nefariousness or any of those accusations, but their names would be included. Okay, so I'm telling you, if that wasn't him, then I think they would have said that. That's all I'm saying, honey. Okay, so until further notice, they talking about the only Ray J that we all know. Now, I don't know nothing about that Whitney Houston stuff, but that witness in court the other day on the paperwork, on the text messages that were sent, it said Ray J. All right? And she sat up there and act like she didn't know, because quite frankly, I know she didn't want to say it in court. Okay? I'm quite frankly sure she didn't want to say it in court. So, and that's the Brianna Bungalon person. Okay, so I'm pretty sure she didn't want to say it in court, because possibly she works with celebrities. Who knows what she does in real life? Okay, this is all a hot mess, honey, at the end of the day. This is all a hot mess. Okay, Marie James said that witness was terrible. Honey, this whole thing is terrible. At the end of the day, I hate it for all the real victims, and I hated that all this stuff has happened, and it's taken so long to even attempt to get justice. AJ said, it's hot in New York. Aren't you come out here to, it's hot in New York. Aren't you coming out here to Vegas, Queen? Okay, yes, absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. Okay. Sandra said, oops, that's not the young man YouTuber Ray J talking about. That's not the young man that Ray J's talking about. Okay, I don't know. Ray J sound like he's talking about some shadow people. Ray J sound like he don't sound like he's talking about on YouTuber. Ray J sounds like he's talking about some people that have been paying him to be quiet. And we all know that's not a YouTuber. So I don't know. That don't sound like he's talking about not either to me. I don't know why they put that title, so he's responding to that. That sounds like he's talking about somebody has been giving him some hush money. That's what he said. Okay. Panther Strike said, Queen, do you sit behind Diddy or the prosecutor's side of the courtroom? They're both on the same side, beloved. The prosecution and the defense on the same side. Okay. So I sit behind Diddy, yes, because the other side is for journalists. Okay. The public sits on the side behind Diddy. Yeah. That's how he saw me and smiled and waved. And he smiled and waved at us again today. The other day, he specifically smiled and waved at me because I was the only one sitting there at the time. Because I was in there, you know, as they were bringing him in. Other people hadn't really come in yet on that side. And then today, he smiled and waved at those of us who were sitting there. I said to myself, honey, you can smile and wave all you want, but you better not smile and wave and nod at that damn jury because the judge already warned you behind yesterday. Okay, don't get kicked out of your own trial. Darius is so low down and nefarious. Darius said, Queen, did you smell baby oil? No, I didn't, honey. Okay, I wasn't trying to. Right, Terry Hill said, it's Clive Davis paying Rachel, honey. I don't know who's paying who. Don't even get me involved in it, okay? Nicole said he was trying to recruit you. I know he wasn't, honey. That's what he wasn't trying to do, honey. He could leave me out of the nefariousness. Okay, Mel said Ray J cannot be trusted. Just Anticipate said, Queen, you should have gave him the middle. Honey, listen, I'm not trying to get kicked out of court. Okay, I am not trying to get kicked out of court. So you should have gave him the middle finger when he smiled at you. Honey, I was too shocked to do anything. I was just sitting there like, wait a minute, what? Did I just see what I thought I saw? Mama Justin said, wait, he smiled and waved at you, Queen. You are really going to Costa Rica if he's found not guilty. He has seen your face. Woo, honey, don't remind me, okay? This is all nefarious. All right. Queen Sarah said, Queen, are you eating, hydrating, and taking care of yourself? Yes, I'm trying to do a better job, beloved. That's why y'all didn't see me out here trying to do a live earlier outside of the courtroom, because when I went to break, I went to the cafeteria and got me something to eat and drink, okay? I can't be out there in that hot sun and pass out, honey. Y'all just leave me there for dead, okay? OG Patrice said, Queen, what Nelly are they talking about? The rapper? Girl, what Nelly do you know? What Nelly do you know? That was an old testimony from weeks ago where that guy said that he bought an 8-ball, okay? That's what he said. He said Nelly, not me. And allegedly, I took it that he was talking about the rapper. Who else do I know named Nelly that will be around Diddy for him to be having somebody taking something to honey? That's all I'm saying at the end of the day. Like I said, I already told you all before the trial started, they already had told the jurors that there was going to be lots of celebrity names involved, like 190. Don't y'all remember that? They literally said 190 celebrities will be named. So y'all should not be surprised when y'all hear these celebrities' names. Okay? A lot of these people were hanging out with Diddy. But now they're nowhere to be found. At the end of the day, they literally told y'all, I showed y'all the article. They said 190 people, celebrities, were going to be named in this trial. So when y'all hear these names, y'all should not be surprised at this point. Okay, it doesn't mean that they had anything to do with the nefariousness, but somehow, some way, their names will be involved. They already told us that. Terry Hill said, yes, Queen, please take care of yourself while reporting. I'm trying, honey. Okay. Queen Sam said, so we've got Ray J and now Nelly. Diddy out here putting effing up folks' lives. Okay, Eric said, Diddy be like Denzel and Training Day. I'm putting cases on all y'all YouTubers. I know that's right. OG Patrice said, no wonder Nelly be getting hit in here. Say what? He be getting hit. Woo, honey. Shawshana said, fair weather friends. Honey, this is all nefarious. Okay, at the end of the day, listen, I'm about to be out of here because it's 9 o'clock. Okay, I got to go because y'all know, wait a minute, I don't even have to be up in the morning. I forgot. Thank God it's Friday, honey. I made it through a week of this trial, honey, the shenanigans. I want y'all to pay attention. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention, honey. They got federal cases on YouTubers. They got people honey, they got people being investigated, honey, for running their mouths and all that, honey. Let me tell y'all something, honey. I try to choose my words carefully. And look at AJ talking about not the 8-ball, honey. That's what they said, honey. Don't blame it on me. Okay, don't blame it on me. And let me just say this to clarify. When they said Ray J in the court, allegedly, when they said Ray J, allegedly, as far as we knew, it was the real Ray J. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's what they said. Just Anticipate said, you made it, okay? hold on, what Des was saying. Gwendolyn, thank you for your contribution to the channel, beloved. I appreciate you. Peace, love, and blessings. Des said, Queen, I would have put you on my back and take you to the hospital if that happens. I know, right? Ooh. Aubrey said Rachel had nothing to do with witness passing. I don't think so. And Nicole said, stay away from the drama. Honey, you don't have to tell me, honey. I don't get involved in drama, honey. Didn't I tell y'all I'm not having no more YouTube beefs? I'm not in here for any of it. I don't have time for it, honey. I got too much stuff to be worried about. Please miss me with all of it, honey. Now, if they want to sit there and have beefs, I'll sit back and watch. But, honey, I'm not participating in any of it, okay? I don't have time. It's not even worth it. Sheila said, I can finally watch Sinners. It's on Prime. I will watch it in the daytime. My nerves, okay? Honey, you got to watch it at night to get the real effect, honey. That's what they told me before I saw it. They said you got to go see it at nighttime, honey, so you can be scared. Okay, anyway, listen. I really appreciate you all that donate to the channel. I really love y'all. Thank you, Easy, for your super sticker donation, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. Thank you, Just Anticipate. Y'all know I need it, honey. I sure appreciate y'all. Y'all are so nice. Thank you, beloved, for your contribution. Just Anticipate. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Nicole talking about we don't want to have to fly out there to have your back, Queen. I know that's right, honey. Y'all might have to, honey. Y'all might have to. But listen, let me tell y'all something. Somebody clowned me yesterday when I told them that I was catching an Uber from Harlem. They said, we know you're not from here. Nobody catches an Uber from Harlem. That's what they told me, y'all. They said, we know you're not from here. Nobody catches an Uber from Harlem. Let me tell y'all something. At the end of the day, I have to do what I have to do. See, the thing is, when you catch the subway, you have to do a lot of walking. And it is hot as hell out here. Honey, I can't come to court all smelly and sweaty. What I look like. Okay, what I look like. So I have to catch an Uber in the mornings. Now, for the past few days, I've been catching the train home. But in the mornings, honey, I'm not trying to be out there sweating. Now, if I start sweating on the way home, that's fine. Because I'm coming home, I can take a shower and change. But, honey, I'm not going to be getting to the court early in the morning out here sweating, honey. Okay, now sometimes it be cool outside but in the mornings, but sometimes it be hot. It be humid, honey. I don't have time for it, okay? I don't have time for it. All right. Y'all not about to clown me. And then somebody already tried to go in on me the other day about my looks because I was sick. Sitting here going in, Queen, you need to hurry up and get better. You need to put your head right back on or something because you hard on the eyes. I said, okay, that's how we do it out here. So y'all just gonna try to clown me. Okay, I just blocked them. I can't remember who it was, but clearly somebody who's a hater. Okay, yeah, you don't have any empathy and sympathy for the Queen. I've been out here working as hard as I could, even when I'm under the weather. Okay, please miss me with it. Queen Sam said, yes, Queen, don't be sweating like that S worker. I know that's right, honey. Ooh, okay. I know that's right. Okay, Mel said, I'm in New York, but I'm in upstate New York. Okay. Oh, my goodness, honey. Let me tell y'all something. Listen, I'm glad y'all got to hear the audio. TMZ got that real quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm surprised that they were even able to get it. I'm shocked that they were even able to get it, honey. But at the end of the day, you guys, let me tell y'all something. It's a whole lot going on. This trial is getting juicier and juicier. Okay, it is getting really outrageous to a degree. And all of this stuff that we're hearing, Leon said haters can't help themselves. You're absolutely right, beloved. Okay, no lies detected. They sure can't. They just sit back in the cut and wait for the prime opportunity. Okay, but they can miss me with it, honey, because no matter how they think I look, I'm going to still be here doing my job, all right? TC Dan said you could write a book at the end of all this, Queen. You think I don't know that, beloved? That's why I'm here. I want y'all to pay attention, honey. Okay? I want y'all to pay attention. I absolutely was already planning it. Mel said, I'll come to your rescue, Queen. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so Adrian said, when do you think the trial will be over? I don't know, honey. Probably in about another 3 or 4 weeks. The judge did say that he wants it done before July the 4th. Okay, but then, the tricky part is when the jury deliberates. We don't know how long that's going to take. Okay, we don't know how long that's going to take. So, Desmond said, Queen, did you hear about Trump trying to... I didn't hear anything about Trump. I haven't heard anything about anybody but Diddy. I haven't been paying any attention to anything. Listen, I haven't been paying attention to anything except Diddy. I go to the trial. I get there at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning. That's how early I have to get there, because the line, if you get there and the line's already long, honey, you're not getting in. You're gonna end up in the overflow room, which I did yesterday, like I told you all. So I have to get there, which means I have to get up like 4 in the morning. Honey, I don't have time to look for Trump. The only reason I reported on Trump last night is because y'all sent me that crap. I don't have time for anything but the Diddy trial, period. I stay in court till the court is over. Then I come home and then I get on here and do my report. I don't have time for the other stuff, honey. Sorry, but no, I ain't heard nothing about Trump or nothing else. Okay? So with that all being said, I love y'all to life. I hope y'all enjoyed the broadcast. OG Patrice said up here talking about, is it Nelly the rapper? OG Patrice, if you don't sit down somewhere, now I can't promise you it was Nelly the rapper, but that's exactly who I thought it was. Okay, they didn't tell us nothing different, because if it wasn't Nelly the rapper, I would expect they would have said something about that too, honey. Oh, that wasn't Nelly the rapper, by the way, but they didn't say that. Okay, and then like I told y'all, these people hanging out with Diddy, all these famous people. Well, so when you hear these names, I'm gonna assume we all are, unless otherwise, that these are celebrities that they're calling out, honey. It's all a mess. OG Patrice said this will be a Lifetime movie, honey. Okay. Anyway, listen, I'm about to let you all go. I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast, honey. I will see you out. Listen, I'll do a live tomorrow. Maybe then we can talk about Trump and his nefariousness. OG Patrice talking about asking for a friend. If you don't sit down somewhere, honey, I'm gonna ask you something for a friend when I get off this live. But listen, Mel said the broadcast was so on point, Queen. Thank you. Listen, now you all see, I want you all to pay attention, because you all see that I'm doing a good job of taking these notes. You see how I told you all what Diddy said in the audio, and then when I played the audio, that's exactly what I told you all word for word. Honey, I just want y'all to know these fingers be working fast, honey. I got to write down so quick. I have to write down this stuff so quick. You know what I'm saying? It's hard because you're literally writing it down in real time as they're talking. So what I try to do is, I can't always write down the question that the prosecutor is asking or whatever. I just write down the answer, and I'll just put a cue beside it, to let myself know, okay, this is what they asked, this is their answer or whatever. But honey, you gotta work fast as hell to write down all them notes, honey. I'm gonna tell y'all, I done used up my whole notebook already, and I've only been here a week. I need to go buy me about 4 or 5 more notebooks. I'm not even joking. I probably got about 10 pages left in this notebook, and I just got here Monday. Okay, so please pay attention. DJ Big Six says shorthand. Exactly, that's what I be doing. Okay, so anyway, listen, I love you all to life. Nicole said raw notes. Queen, do not make up stuff. Thank you, beloved. Mel said queen of receipts. Thank you. So listen, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the broadcast. Okay, make sure you all like and share to help the channel grow. Y'all know they got the Pearl Low Queen shadow band, honey. It's only so much I can do. All right, but I love y'all. I hope you all enjoy your strong end, not the weekend, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Okay, I will see you all tomorrow at the end of the day. OG Patrice said, y'all, we're living during the trial of our decade. I made it through the OJ trial too. I know that's right. Shout out to us, honey, because we here. All right, we here in the house. So listen, I will be on live tomorrow sometime during the day. I'll probably go live early because I plan to get out of here and go sightseeing tomorrow. I got to go see some things, okay? Because I just been stuck in the court every day. All right, so love you all. I gotta make sure I'm gonna stay hydrated, honey. I'm gonna make sure because I can't be up here getting sick. All right, so you all enjoy your strong end. Like I said, not your weak end, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got